Aloha, beautiful ones. I am Dewi Maile Lim, and I'm so delighted to be with you all today for Quickening, episode 3. We are just a few weeks into this beautiful blossoming happening, and it's been such a joy to reconnect with old acquaintances and friends through the vision of this summit and just the quickening that really is happening with all of our energy collectively. I'm sure you can feel it on the planet and within your own beautiful evolutionary journey. And so this is really meant to be a forum for us as women who are on the front lines of changing from within our own hearts and then the way we radiate out and the way we be in the world and the way we serve as embodied feminine leaders. And so it's just such a delight to circle around with women that have been in my sphere through all the various ways that I've been in the online space and through conferences I've been to in the past. So we're primarily using LinkedIn as a place to connect. And the snowball effect of what I've been experiencing is unlike anything else that I've ever done before. I've hosted summits in the past and done all kinds of different online events, but something about this has a special organic and viral quality to it that I'm just marveling at. Every week we have more women showing up live. I have over 50 women who have raised their hand to be speakers, and they're coming to me. And the way that I'm sharing this and that we're growing this is that it's like a each one, teach one, and spread the word. And LinkedIn really affords us the opportunity to do that because it's meant to be a place for connection and networking and business leads. And so this is a first for me to use that platform primarily to promote this and to use that platform also to stream to. So we aren't streaming today to LinkedIn, but I am in progress with getting all of the syndication happening so that we can be live on that platform as well. That is an intention of mine and it'll happen soon. I just haven't gotten that all situated yet, but that's the vision, that we're going to be able to be streaming live on LinkedIn as well as YouTube. And then another really cool aspect of this experience has been the connection amongst the women. So please go ahead and drop into the comments now where you're from, maybe how you found out about this. That would be a great place to start. And after I introduce all the speakers and we all have a chance to present, then I will open up the floor and everyone will have a chance to get their voices heard and just share, takeaway from this experience so that, we can all kind of benefit one another with our awarenesses and insights, and also support the speakers. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pin all of our speakers. And if you're seeing your name as Isla, you can change it if you'd like. I'm not sure how you do it on a cell phone or a smartphone, but if you have access to the rename feature, and if you're on your laptop, you can hover over in the right hand corner and there's a 3-dot drop down, and then you can rename yourself if you'd like. Okay, yay. Okay, so I'm going to pin just our speakers and myself, and I'm going to introduce us all, and then I will, in the order in which I introduce you, dear speakers, you're going to present. So let me get that going here. Thank you, Kate, for sharing how to do it on the phone. I appreciate that. Okay, beautiful. Yay. So really, the intention for this event is to amplify the voices of embodied feminine leaders on the LinkedIn platform, to create a space for us and a forum to connect and drop in and receive from each other's wisdom, experience, and to show really through this groundswell movement that we're co-creating that we're not alone, and that all over the planet there's women like us that are on the front lines of deep change, starting from within, right? Like, be the change you want to see in the world is really the adage that I live by. And I'm sure in all of your efforts and experiences of wanting to impart change, like out there, quote unquote, it's always like this toroidal effect back into our own selves. Like, I need to be the one embodying this. And that is a hallmark of embodiment, right? We need to be in that experimental field within ourselves first. And I know that the sisters here that are with me today have been committed to that in their own lives, in their own ways. So I'd love to introduce each of them to you. And when I say your name, sister, will you just raise your hand and signal who you are? So first up, I'd love to introduce you to Sydney. Sydney is visionary, psychic energy healer, embodiment facilitator, and best-selling author of The Empath Experience, What to Do When You Feel Everything. She's the founder of the Embodied Ascension Academy, co-founder and chief strategy officer of Ascend, and host of the Visionary Souls podcast. And I met Sydney here on Hawaii Island when she was here, and we had a beautiful momentary connection and acknowledgement of each other's souls. And now, are you in Tulum still, Sydney? Yeah, awesome. So Sydney's here, and then we have Isla, Valkyrie, aloha, sister. Oh, your space looks so magical. So Isla and her beloved Takata are the founders of Temple of the Sacred Heart Church, through which they offer plant medicine and combo ceremonies. And Isla offers live streams, online teachings, and in-person events. She co-hosts and teaches at festivals, while Takata brings her medicine to the dance floor as a DJ. And together they bring community together wherever they travel. They love to host gatherings, women's red tent sound healing, and drum circles. Isla and Takata offer inner goddess retreats in Texas, Hawaii, Egypt, South America, and other destinations around the world. And they're also co-founders of the Star Seed Foundation, which I'm getting involved with myself. And it's a really exciting initiative. I'm sure you'll touch on that today, Isla. And we also met on the Big Island on my birthday 2 summers ago now, and had another momentary soul recognition. And so I'm just so grateful and delighted you're here. And then Michaela Lambert is our third speaker for today. And she is a transformational love coach and dating empowerment mentor for women in midlife. She helps smart single women date savvy and attract their dream relationship without giving away their power. So everyone, give it up for our beautiful speakers in the comments. And as each of them present today, feel free to just drop in any ahas that'll help you to integrate and embody, their transmissions and whatever they're sharing, or just be present and lend your energetic support as we continue. So I'm going to just highlight you now, Sydney. You're up first, sis, and I will. So each of us have 10 minutes to present. I'm going to keep track of that, and I'll ping you when in a DM when you have 1 minute left. And then you can also make an invitation for from each of you to have any of us join your community, and I'll drop your links that you shared with me in the comments at that point. Does that sound good?
Great. Thank you. So nice to be with everyone today. Such a sweet invitation. And yeah, really nice to feel the connection just between all the powerful beings, women leaders here. It's super nourishing. And I'm just tuning in to see what is most useful for me to share right now. Kind of feel like just sharing present moment experience of what I'm learning and growing through in my leadership journey, and particularly with one of my companies, which is a new social media platform called Ascend. And just before this, my co-founder and I had one of our first like feature interviews, which is going to be in Performance Marketing World magazine, which is like it's pretty big. It was amazing. It just felt like one of those moments of like, it's happening, like we're getting the exposure, like it's time. This thing that we've been building for 2.5 years is finally like catching up, or rather like the mass consciousness is finally catching up to what we were tracking all along, that the world needs a new place to play, and a more conscious, clear playing field where people can actually connect, where the design is inherently created to support true connection and authenticity. And it felt so good. It feels so good. So I'm celebrating that. And as it relates to embodied feminine leadership, I mean, the whole journey with that birthing, really creating a business. And this is something I share, I call 5D Visionary Business Training. It's a course that I have. It's the premise of my coaching mentorship program. It's like the businesses that we're here to birth, the services, the products, the things we're here to create, they're literal souls that we birth into being. And so like the feminine way of leading, it's like inherently required, I feel, for being like truly present to like the magnitude of creation that wants to come through us. And we're just in such a pivotal moment on the planet right now. It's amazing. I mean, it's like every day the energy is just increasing. Ascension is happening. More people are waking up. There's this feeling of like millions and millions of people, like souls choosing to actually embody and like fully wake up. And it's just so exciting. And I've been shown, the timeline of this year just being like one of the most mass awakenings of consciousness we've ever seen in all of our lifetimes. And so there's this urgent call. That's the message coming through, right, for this community. Like there's such an urgent call for us to be birthing into being what we're here to share and create. And really the premise, I believe, of what we're meant to create is what we wish existed. Like that's always the guidance I get from my team. It's like create what you wish existed, because this old world, it's like it is old and we need the new ways of playing, the new portals and ways of connecting and new infrastructures. And we're all part of templating this. No matter what we're creating, we're part of templating. Like I've been shown like the next 10,000 years, the next 20,000 years. And it really is that momentous, like what we are pioneering in terms of the new energies that we are creating with. And I would say, with the premise of feminine embodied leadership is all about how are you being as you're creating. It's like such a flip from the patriarchal, stress disordered, like masculine way of doing and being in the mind. And we're really called to awaken fully to our intuitive abilities, our psychic abilities, to normalize that we're all oracles, just as women we are, and to normalize that. That's one of my greatest passions, is to empower people to really remember their psychic gifts, their multidimensional abilities, because we just have so much power to create with, and it's been so limited in all of the conditioning. We've been called to deprogram from working in corporate environments or working with very masculine fields. And that's my background. In another lifetime was working in advertising and marketing for many years in New York. And that was my last full-time job. I started a PR agency and it was hyper masculine, and I was a producer. So it was like rewarded for like doing and like tracking time and being stressed out and being addicted to my phone and the email, and just all of that took years to deprogram in my own business. I was like, wait, I developed my own business to feel different. Like, I don't want to do the same. I don't want to just continue with the same, pattern. And so, yeah, I'm just speaking to things I feel people are moving through right now through this awakening. A lot of people are going to be waking up out of their job and like just feel like I can't do this anymore. Like this is going to hurt. People are getting so sensitized to energy that they're going to just become aware of the cage that they've placed themselves in their job, in their cubicle, whatever it is, and just doing something that's their soul doesn't want to do. So we're already seeing this with automation taking over a lot of jobs, layoffs, and it's all a blessing because it's forcing people to pivot, to like actually look at. We even had this with COVID. It's like forced being, like sit still. What do you actually want to do with your life? Like, what are you actually here for? And not everyone, I think, is meant to be an entrepreneur per se, where I think we're still going to have companies and organizations, but we do want to have entrepreneurs within those organizations, within those companies, and people that can think for themselves and be intuitive and be leaders and be empowered. So those are just some of the shifts that I'm seeing. And again, with like the feminine principle being so at the forefront of like, who are you being through what you're creating? That's anything that you create is going to be an emanation of what you're embodying, what energy you're embodying. And it's again, this like we as women are leading this new templating of how to create heaven on earth, of how to create the world we wish existed, leading with our being, with our energy, with our presence. And then, whatever we choose to do is just for fun. Like, cool, you want to create a company, you want to raise $1 million, you want to write a book, like, cool, as long as it's being led by your soul. And then what I've experienced with Ascend, because so much of that vision, I see Ascend being a multi-billion-dollar social media company that replaces all of social media 1.0, and hopefully templates the way for other platforms to come through in new ways, new templates, new modes of, transacting value and exchange, and just all about up-leveling consciousness on the planet, a way of playing in the virtual so that we entrain the new ways of being required in a more physicalized, thriving society. And this vision was downloaded to me by God, by higher consciousness, by my galactic councils. And I like to say this to just normalize that that's how I get vision. And I think a lot of people do, but there's just the old programming or fear of like, if I say that, I lose credibility. When meanwhile, all the top CEOs of the world, men, they all have like secret gurus and energy healers and psychics, and they're all doing the same thing and nobody's talking about it. So I just love to normalize that and put it out there. And it's just so much more efficient to play in these ways as well, to really fully open up our multidimensional gifts and abilities and let our vision lead us more than we're like in the mind thinking about what do I need to do for a strategy, and instead have this relationship with the soul of our business, our service, our product, where it's really telling us how it wants to be in the world. And that we get to be like a steward, just like a soul chooses a parent, like you're chosen to steward a soul. And are you listening to what it needs? It already knows what it needs to be in the world. Are you actually listening to let that perfect design, that destiny come through? So that's the way that I love to orient. And, I call it 5D visionary business. I think it's just the way that the planet's heading, honestly, as more people awaken and we're just sensitizing, and people are going to have all kinds of supernatural experiences, which are just normal, and we're renormalizing like miracles. It's like our natural state of being. And it's been really fun to watch, even just the last few weeks, like huge energies, some of the biggest energies I've ever felt, just moving through the planet, moving through our bodies, purging out densities, recalibrating our fields to be more alive and aligned, magnetic and radiant. And I guess I would just close to say, like, one of the challenges I'm experiencing in this path is like just expanding to receive even more, like, because I'm having so much support come in, like the more I've cleaned out the old and the density and just get into even more focus, alignment, and refinement of where my energy is going. And then the challenges now are like, wow, how do I expand my capacity to have more responsibility, more visibility, more impact, more abundance in all of these ways? And that's been so fun to practice, like somatically, etherically, like just full embodied presence through all of it. And like being that infinite container to receive and magnetize like all the support. And reality gets so malleable too. It's so fun. Like with the energies lately, I'm like, okay, manifestation is like, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore in this new dimension that we're inhabiting. It feels more like, it's just in presence. You notice that everything you need is right there already. So there's like no manifesting, like I have to attract it. It's like being so grounded and integrated And then the thought arises like, wow, this resource would be so nice to have. And then you realize, like, did the thought come first, or did the awareness of the thing already being in your field come first? Like, it's just, I'm having experiences like that often now. And it feels like, you know, evidence to how we're just collectively moving out of time. And so many dimensional shifts, and the body is like being carried by our, you know, our consciousness, which is just like evolving so fast. And the feminine way is all about being embodied and being really in the body, being slow, listening, following how we're feeling, going at our own pace, being seasonal. It's just so different from everything I learned. And I'm grateful that this field is, I know, with me templating these new ways and leading these new ways. And so that was fun. 1 minute. Yes, I'd love everyone to check out Ascend. I'd love to know what you think. It's a new sovereign social media platform that's decentralized. It's moderated by the community. I designed it to be a new collective nervous system that's self-regulating. And the whole thing just feels really good. It's what I always wish I had as a creator. It's like all the best features of every platform in one really easy place to set up courses, paid groups, patronage, subscriptions, all kinds of stuff that you would just love. And yeah, I would love to see you sharing your energy and your expertise there, and building communities there. And then if there's any way I can support you in coaching or, you know, training, I have tons of online programs, business training, Akashic Facilitator training, tons of courses on embodied leadership and attunement, psychic development, and that's all in the Embodied Ascension Academy. And then I offer one-on-one sessions as well, where we just like open a vortex and channel whatever you need to help you on your path. And that's super fun. And then lastly, I just have a new book coming out in June called I'm Ascending, Now What? And so I'm going to be on book tour for that in the summer, and just happy to make more connections with people that are on this path of embodied ascension and really, you know, leading as our true selves. And I hope to meet you in person if you happen to be on a little stop on my tour. Keep in touch. And yeah, this is so sweet. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to connect with you all and share, and looking forward to who's next.
Oh, thank you, sister. That was beautiful. Everything you said landed in my body, like viscerally. Everyone, please share your loving support with Sydney. If you have any questions for her, just hold them for now. Make a note of them, because we're going to open up the floor in a little bit. And yeah, just such a delight to witness this templating and to normalize, like you're saying, Sydney, this anchoring in of what is, you know, our way of being, this ascended way of being, that grounded here and now in this 3D form. And I love the way you're doing that. Such an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to bring up Isla. Put you on a pin. Okay, the floor is yours, sister, and you need to unmute. Oh, yeah.
Aloha, sacred sisters. Oh, it's such an honor to be with you and see so many familiar and brand new faces in this beautiful forum. Thank you so much, Dewi, for hosting this beautiful quickening embodied leadership feminine collective. And I'm so looking forward to getting to know each of you on a deeper level. I definitely want to echo what Sydney said, sister, all of that. Yes, yes, yes. Filter alert, fuck yes. Yes, absolutely, all of that. And I have been asking for a platform. What you've created is exactly what I've been asking for. And like you said, like, is it the thought that came first, or is it the manifestation came first? You know, kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg? It's like, it happens so fast now. It happens so fast that it's like instant and it's in your field, you know? So I've been looking for something like you've created, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with your platform and sharing more and more people onto that platform as we move forward. So I am Isla Valkyrie. That is my chosen name. And I have been on this spiritual path for my whole being, my whole existence. And I've embodied the role as a medicine woman, a modern day medicine woman, really facilitating the medicine in a divine feminine fashion. And so I work with a lot of the plant nation, of a lot of the plant teachers, as well as medicines from different areas of the Amazon. And I'm really, really honored to hold that space and that container for individuals as they work together with me and my beloved Takata. And together we are all creating a beautiful organization. It is about to launch full force as a nonprofit. It's called the Starseed Family Foundation, which Dewi had referenced earlier in the chat. And our mission and vision statement has just been launched. So I want to share this with you globally. This is our announcement to the world here, this first time live, saying our mission and vision and our about statement. So I'm going to read it to you because we worked and really just delved into some wordsmithing and language to really get this just so right. And I'm really praying that this lands with each of you, and any of you that it lands with. We are inviting divine feminine, divine masculine connections and alliances through our Starseed Family Foundation organization. We cultivate community through heart-led gatherings and create unity with Mother Earth through ancient wisdom teachings to anchor a new earth for future generations. And our about is that we are an alliance of rainbow warriors. We guide awakening and ascending souls to navigate the new earth. From our hearts, we empower and inspire interconnection to all our relations. We unite the tribes and share wisdom from Great Spirit and the elders. We honor Mother Earth to build bridges and leave a legacy for future generations to come. Aho. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And so I invite all of us today just to take a breath in Lotus Mudra. It's been coming to me all morning. And so just taking the heels of your hands together, placing the pinkies and the thumbs together, and then spreading out the other three fingers in a giant cup, a giant chalice. The chalice in our female body is the womb space. And today I have a beautiful offering for you. It's a cosmic womb affirmation creation worksheet. And it's, so the womb is really the divine container. And so holding this at our heart space and taking a deep breath in, and then we'll breathe out with a ha. Ha. And just releasing the need to push, releasing the need to do and show up like others expect you to. And again, like Sydney was saying, just embodying that divine flow of the feminine and allowing everything that we're already here to create just to simply appear in our field, because that is our soul's purpose. So take a breath into that and out with a ha. Ha. Making an audible noise on the breath out. One more time, breath in. And then a nice ah. Ha. What I like to call the yoni breath, very feminine breath. We can bring that up to the third eye as Dewi is doing. And then above the crown. And then back down to the heart space, anchoring in. Feel that deep stem of connection, deep, deep down through all of the layers down into Mother Earth. And I'm going to read to you a few affirmations that I have. This is one of my older worksheets. And it's so freaking powerful. And I kind of forgot I had it. So this is the Cosmic Womb Embodiment. And I'm going to read you an affirmation for each of the chakras. And this is a gift for you as well. Dewi is going to drop the bit.ly in there for you, but it's bit.ly/goddess affirmation. If you're online and want to follow and just grab that. Bit.ly is like a little shortcut. And then /goddess affirmation. And so this is, to start it off, I'm going to just share this overall healing. And if you want to place your hand on your heart, feel free to do so. Today and every day, I feel the healing power of the goddess flowing through me. Today and every day, I feel the divine wisdom of goddess filling my body, mind, and spirit. Today and every day, I feel the divine wisdom of the great mother goddess filling my body, mind, and spirit. She is helping me to make the best choices possible. And all of these affirmations are downloaded directly from source. So I just try to type as fast as I can, or I write as fast as I can. And then I go back and like, what the fuck does that say? And I'll have to translate it again for myself. And so these are really powerful affirmations with a goddess for each of the chakras. And so we're going to start first with Kali Ma. And also she appears in the form of Pele on the Big Island and all the Hawaiian islands. She is the goddess of transformation, chaos, and beauty. And so her attributes are passion and physical transformative energy. So I'm going to skip through it. In this packet, it has the energy center location, the color and activity, the higher octave color for that chakra, the negative polarity, the keynotes, the corresponding elements, the healing gems and crystals that are for that chakra, and the intentions. And then I also have a bonus for all of you that are teachers that has asanas with it and ways that you can incorporate this, including a playlist and a couple drum soundtracks if you want to incorporate this into any of your teachings. And you're welcome to use this material. Again, this is downloaded material. It's available for you. And it's through my Yoga for Love online training programs that I'm offering this to you. So we have the affirmation for the root chakra. My new life path reveals itself to me. My new life path reveals itself to me. And our mantra for the root chakra, just placing the hand down at the root, is awakening. Awakening. So breathing into that, coming up to the second chakra. This is Freya, goddess of the patroness of love and fertility. And she is our metaphorical boxing gloves. She goes to battle for us to end our current way of life, to begin anew, and this time on the path that is honoring our passion and our purpose. So her affirmation, this is for the sacral chakra. If you want to bring your hand up just a couple inches below the navel. I embrace life in all its fullest. At this moment, I have all that I need. I embrace life in its absolute fullest. At this moment, I have all that I need. And the mantra here for the second chakra with Freya is passion. This is our sacral movement, the flow of water. So the root is the earth. Then we're moving into the element of water. The third chakra here, moving into the solar plexus area, right here where the ribs meet. And this is the reflection of the sun. The solar plexus is our divine reflection. And so this is the energy of the upper abdomen. And so we have the energy of Boadicea, the Celtic queen. She is super, super powerful. And so tapping into that energy, her name literally means victory. She stands Amazon-like, her feet grounded, her body erect, garbed as a warrior queen. So this is where we're really fully embodying that warrior power. Her leading her followers confidently. And that's all of us on this talk are divine embodied leaders. So embodying that power of Boadicea. Like the tigress mother who protects her young, she harnesses her anger to seek justice for those that are dear to her. So she's harnessing our righteous anger. And the affirmation here for Boadicea. I use my energy for the highest good. I release the opinions of others. My awesome power is released in a healthy manner. I use my energy for the highest good. I release the opinions of others. My awesome power is released in a healthy manner. And her mantra is focus. So moving up to the heart and breathing in. This is Gaia, Mother Gaia, divine mother goddess, earth mother goddess. Her message for all of us at this time is to allow time for introspection, contemplation, and developing wisdom. Her message for us as goddess sisters is that she connects us to the universal source of mothering and nurturing, leading us to a feeling of profound peace and balance. Every element in the universe, whether on land, sea, or sky, can be seen as a single living entity of Gaia, all pulsing within her heartbeat. And so just tapping in as a living conscious planet, tapping in who provides sustenance, all the nutrition that we ever need, everything we ever need is provided from our mother. So taking a moment just to divinely connect to her, even if our earthly mother has failed us, we can always connect to our divine mother. And her energy center obviously is in the heart. Her keynote is F. And so if you want to connect directly to that heart, if you have any musical instruments in the key of F. And her message here is love flows into my life like a river. I am calm and centered now and always. Love flows into my life like a river. I am calm and centered now and always. And her mantra is peace. So moving into the 5th chakra, this is Goddess Diana. Many of us who carries Diana energy. Yes, the warrior of the woods, the leader. She is powerful, protective Diana. She embodies the moon and the fertility and also the sun's protection, the nurturing power over the earth's wildernesses, all of the creature beings. She is in over that in the wild, in the forest. She's the huntress, and she's the one that carries the arrow. She usually wears that, like little tiny skirt made out of skins. So all of us who have that wild embodied feminine, that's the spirit of Diana, and she encourages us to use our voice, use our throat. She carries her bow. Her short skirt is not for attracting male attention, but it's a symbol of freedom. She remains free to leap through the forest and touch the sky with her outstretched fingers. And so her intention here is resounding with all the wild places in the inner psyches, the parts of us that hunger for more than what our daily routine has provided. The affirmation here, placing our hand on our throat, fresh air fuels the roses in my cheeks and the fire in my heart. Today I choose to do what I can, and I can do anything. Fresh air fuels the roses in my cheeks and the fire in my heart. Today I choose to do what I can, and I can do anything. And her mantra is adventure. So moving into the 3rd eye chakra, this is Goddess Isis, and she has been one of my divine representations of my teachers and my high priestess. For the last several years, she came to me as my twin flame journey awakened, and I found my beloved Takata. She and I have partnered together. We were ceremony partners beforehand in a platonic relationship until in a moment of orgasmic bliss, our memories were opened and the orgasm of the universe came through both of us simultaneously in different cities, and was revealed to us that we were twin flames and we had a mission to accomplish on this planet. And so I'm so, so grateful. I ended a 30-year relationship to follow this path, a 30-year marriage, the father of my 2 children. It was overnight, gone, done, and stepping fully into this path of embodying my divine path as a warrior priestess on this planet. And so Goddess Isis has a very special place in my teachings. I wrote this well before I knew she was my guiding light, and she brought me to Egypt shortly thereafter. She brought me to Hawaii first, where I met Dewi, and then she brought me to Egypt immediately thereafter, all in that same cycle of crazy cyclone during the C word. And so all of that happened in 2021, but I wrote this in 2019. So interesting how, those breadcrumbs are like planted on our path, and the more we listen and the more we hone and the more we tune in and tap in and turn on, then we can actually hear all of those messages come through until one moment it's all flooding in like a gateway. So she has a beautiful affirmation here. I trust my wisdom and insight. I am sacred, savvy, sexy, and wise. I trust my insight. Right here at the 3rd eye, you might help to touch the 3rd eye. I am sacred, savvy, sexy, and wise. And her mantra is insight. And then moving up into the crown chakra, Demeter is the goddess here that I've chosen for the crown. She's an earth mother who represents the cycles that we experience as women. So she's a really great representation of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And so Demeter rules the cycles that are immediately obvious to women, those of the moon, which is our biological cycles. And so she helps with the pull of the moon and the planets. So here, her affirmation, and we could just take and place our hands over the crown, just maybe hovering above the crown. I am a goddess of wisdom in action. When I look in the mirror, I see a radiant goddess. I am the spirit of enlightenment. I am the goddess of wisdom in action. When I look in the mirror, and you can look at yourself right here on camera, I see a radiant goddess. I am the spirit of enlightenment. So I invite you just to continue just to hold that energy. If you want to scan your chakra system and just kind of see which one has a little bit more call to you to send your hands and your healing there. And all of us are divine healers, whether you know how to do Reiki or not. Reiki has been one of my governing foundations for over 23 years. And so just finding where your hands want to resonate. You might connect to different chakras, and we'll just take another breath in and out with a ha. Ha. I'm just releasing, shifting, shaking it out, and just grounding it back down into the earth. Anything that no longer serves your highest good, allow it just to drain off the energy field down into Mother Gaia, and allowing our mother to transform and transmute that energy for the highest good. And then just taking your arms up and open and sealing off of our energy bubble, pulling energy from the earth, clapping it at the top, the little seal. Bring your hands down to heart, creating this bubble of sovereignty around ourselves, allowing whatever is not resonant for our highest good of all timelines, of all lineages, of all karmic loops, to be released from our energy field for good, as far as the east is from the west. And so it is a whole. Calling in beautiful divine white light from the Christ Sophia consciousness to fill our energy bubble. Allow yourself to fill your container every single day, filling up your cup and only giving from that place which the cup overflows, which is the saucer. Thank you so much for your attention and your guidance to your own self-work today, for showing up for yourself, for being present for yourself and for your sisters. And thank you so much, Dewi, for the opportunity to host today and to speak for all these beautiful goddesses.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you so much. If you want to join us on any of our retreats, just reach out to me on LinkedIn. I love Lisa Valkyrie, or on any of my social platforms. And Dewi is dropping a link for the free gift for you. Again, it's bit.ly/goddess affirmation. Thank you.
Thank you. Isla, I heard links are in the comments. Please, let's all connect on LinkedIn. You can also do that through the event. There's a networking tab on all of our events. Each week there'll be a new event. So Isla is on there. Okay, I'm gonna pin Miss Michaela now. Thank you so much, sister. Super powerful.
Oh my gosh, that I feel so uplifted by that amazing, lovely, beautiful activation just there. So thank you so much for that, Isla, and thank you to Sydney as well for just your words. I was really resonating as you were saying everything, and I feel very humble to be speaking and sharing this platform with you. I'm very grateful as well to Dewi for being the fantastic organizer that she's been, and then to everybody who's here at the moment. And so I really wanted to explore what embodied feminine leadership means in a relationship with a significant other. And especially from the perspective of single women who, you know, are going through life, and perhaps they've been single on their own for a while, and really having to take care of everything. So in other words, having to access both their feminine and their masculine energies on a daily basis, and in particular through their work. And why that actually just makes it really difficult when it comes to actually attracting the love and the relationship that you really deeply desire. And so it really does come down to the fact that well, not naturally, I should say, but we've been conditioned so much to to function in our masculine energy. So, you know, whether we're a single mother, getting stuff done, taking care of everything, doing everything, or, you know, whether we're a career woman who's really had to take on and really access that masculine energy to achieve, to do, to keep on going, and how that really almost puts a block. So there's that, but there's also the fact that in order to really access the feminine energy, we really need to lean into trust and vulnerability. And that can be really, really hard, especially if you have been in a relationship, or if you've had experiences that have really affected your ability to trust, and trust in particular the masculine, and trust men. And so it really does tend to limit, you know, just your ability to receive and feminine energy, really. So I'm just going to break down a few things of what feminine energy actually means, because I think, you know, it's something that isn't really understood because we have society, really, the society that we've been, you know, that we've grown up in, has actually been taught to see it as weak, you know, and to see it as, and it's just very misunderstood. So it's really, and everybody has access to, everybody can access to this. It's just that women have a much more direct link to this energy, and it's really the source of our power, but it's really represented by that dark, the womb. I really see that the source of the power really comes from the womb, which is regenerating, nourishing, warm, receptive, and actually is the source of our magnetism as well. And it's, in comparison to the masculine energy, which is very direction focused, feminine energy is very free and very wild and very spontaneous and infinite. And it sort of does need the masculine energy to give it some channeling, some direction. So we really need both. So the sort of the idea is that we do need both. However, where our real power lies is in being able to access our feminine energy. And it really comes from the heart. It's warm, it's glowing, it's vibrant, and it's loving. And when we do experience trauma and wounding, it causes our hearts to shut down. It really does shut down that energy. And that in turn shuts down our feminine power. And so being able to access vulnerability and trust are really the keys to kind of reverse and to step into that feminine power. And it's not easy. And it's, you know, these are the things that, you know, we can get very easily triggered. And in particular, when you are beginning to come into a relationship with a man, or if you're dating, it's very easy for certain things to trigger you when you are not coming from your true seat of your power. The more that you can embody your feminine energy, the greater protection you have, actually, in terms of the fact that you will really be able to access this authentic part of yourself, and strip away the conditioning that the society, you know, has this masculine programming, shall we say, has actually conditioned you to be, to do, and rather all we need to do is actually to relax and get in tune with our hearts and with what we actually really want, and slowing down. So what happens when you don't do this is that So let's say, so if you're coming into dating, for example, and you're coming from a very wounded feminine energy or a very masculine energy. So we take the masculine energy first of all, you're going to have a tendency to compete with the masculine energy of the man. So this is going to, lead to just a lot of frustration, really, and a lot of resentment, and really this lack of trust, because the masculine energy is all about competition and not necessarily about the coming together and the trust and the connection. So actually stepping into your feminine energy is great, because when you can lead with that vulnerability and that willingness to connect on a deep level, that is going to automatically encourage that openness and that communication, which is completely, which is vital for any kind of relationship. And so so really, essentially, it really comes down to developing that really strong sense of self-awareness, and to be able to embody your own feminine so that you can then lead from that place, which is really going to be, rooting in that sort of mutual respect and trust, because trust begets trust, and in the same way as respect. So it really does start with you, and it starts with your heart, and that is really what is going to attract, from that place, what is going to attract somebody who's really going to resonate and really want to connect with you. And if you are in a situation where you want to learn how to do that a little bit more, I do have a free gift. It's a little bundle of resources and some short video trainings, and I think Debbie has the link, and Debbie will pop that in the chat. But I'd really love to connect with all of you wonderful ladies, and thank you all very much for listening.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Michaela. Check out the comments. Sisters are resonating, and I love how you tied in this piece to embodied feminine leadership in relationships, and this masculine feminine dynamic that is present, in all dynamics and within ourselves as well, and to reflect on that and how we can apply it more in our lives, especially if we're desiring partnership. Thank you, and even strengthening the relationships we may already be in. So thank you. I put Michaela's links in. So we have a few more minutes. I just wanted to open the floor. This is the part of the call where any of you are welcome to come off mute, introduce yourself, ask a question. Right now, please put any takeaways from any of the speakers. I would love to get some synergistic kind of input going in the chat, and feel free to come off mute as well. This is your open forum to connect with us, beautiful ones. So feel free, just popcorn style, come off mute if you'd like to be witnessed and share your voice. Some more feedback coming in. Thank you to all the speakers, ignited so much. Laura had a comment for Michaela. She's experiencing this in her relationship, trying to be the masculine after being hurt and always on defensive, lack of trust to be vulnerable. Once she's vulnerable, starting to let him be masculine and allowing the feminine in herself is allowing for more balance. Sherry said, so much inspiration from these amazing speakers. Grateful. Melody, who's been a past speaker on our Melody's actually speaking next week, says thank you, as well as everyone for putting your energy into this quickening, the series, and the movement. data. Feels very good to connect with all these powerful women. Anybody want to share their voice? Welcome.
I guess I'll share. I'm a bit scared, but I just want to thank you all. Like, I came a little bit late because I'm trying to juggle a lot of things. I'm trying to kind of change my life into the spiritual path. I'm so excited. I'm just diving in and trusting myself. And I've had a lot of new experiences in the spiritual path. And I'm now learning from Isla as well, in my yoga journey and my Reiki journey. And it's just a lot of amazing things happening. And yeah, I'm at the very beginning, and I've learned so much hearing from all of you. Like, there's a lot of connections, and I feel like I'm at the right place at the right time. So I'm by the way, I'm Nijme, and my given name is Asil, and I've always been an artist, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm just figuring everything out. So I'm excited to see what happens, and to connect with you guys, and to grow with you and learn from you. So thank you so much for the space.
I would love to speak to that really quickly. So in this home that we're staying at right now, we live in our RV, and we're staying temporarily at different lands to help build community. We're currently in Fort Worth, Texas. And in this beautiful healing home, which you can see this beautiful sacred space, I hung a bell when I first moved into this location, onto this land, and we did a clearing. And every time that someone speaks something that's really clear truth, the bell starts ringing. And so when everyone was saying their truths and speaking their soul, this little bell just ding, ding, like the fan hasn't changed, there's no air movement, and it just goes. And so it's just this divine confirmation that all of our ancestors, all of our Amakua are here to support us, as well as our Ohana, our chosen Ohana, and our soul Ohana is all here to support us. And every time I hear that little bell now, I really feel that, you know, it's just such a verbal confirmation, an audio confirmation that they are all here supporting us, and they just wanted me to share that.
So beautiful. Thank you, sister. Oh, yes, this awakening is quickening, and it doesn't matter if you know, are just kind of coming in and online with, you know, what already was like latent inside of you. Yeah, you were welcome here. Any point of your journey, if you're feeling resonant with this call, please, sisters, share this with others. Introduce me to anyone you feel might be a fit to speak on this series. If you're interested in speaking on this series, reach out to me as well. We're all connected now through email, so you can always respond to any of my emails that I send out. You are registered for the entire series now. We're going through every Wednesday until April 26th. And I do see this really growing and getting like coverage in media, and every week, like, you know, doubling in size with the women that are attending. And it's all up to us to have that happen. I was going to share some numbers. Maybe I'll do that next week of just how much of a quickening this is and has been for me. How many new people have come into my community in just such short amount of time. My reach has gone up tremendously from doing this. So if this is something you're interested in hosting for your own community and growing your audience, let's talk. I can help with doing a done with you or a done for you style series as well. I've facilitated in this way before, but this particular format I feel is something new and fresh that we haven't really seen before, and that is gaining a lot of traction in a very short amount of time. So let me know if you'd like to collaborate or just explore that. And whatever I can do to keep forwarding each of you in your own missions, I'm here for it. This is part of my mission for my company, New Earth Luminary. I create nourishing and beautiful experiences for women to thrive and flourish and connect, like this one here today. So if you desire more of that in your life for your own community, then let me know, and I'd love to help guide you in the right direction, and maybe we can partner together. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big love to the speakers. Sydney, love you. Michaela, love you. Isla, love you. Thank you all of the sisters for coming today. Next week, same time, same place. Please show up and bring your friends. Aloha, sisters. Bye.